What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the office, and welcome to another vlog. It's been a while since I've made a YouTube video in general, but especially made a vlog type of video. August has been an absolute whirlwind of a month. I think the only month in my life that I can think that was busier than this was March of last year. Last year in March, we had so many family events and social events and everything like that. But this August has just been insanely busy for us. Definitely the highlight of the month was that my sister and her fiance, my now brother-in-law, got married last weekend in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So we have kind of spent the good chunk of the last week either in Tennessee or in the car driving to and from Tennessee. But it's just been such an amazing week and such a busy month. We've had a lot of, as I said earlier, we've had a lot of events that kind of tie in with the wedding that have been going on in August. And then today is Wednesday. Today's actually my birthday, which I'll talk about in a second. But this coming weekend, we have some friends who are coming into town again as well. On Friday, we will be going to a music festival, North Coast Music Festival in Bridgeview, Illinois, for those of you guys who like dance music and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, we're actually going to the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox. If you guys have kind of been following for a while, you'll know that I'm a huge Yankee fan, and the Yankees obviously play in New York, and I live in Chicago. So really the only time that I get to see the Yankees is when they come either into Chicago to play the Cubs or the White Sox, or maybe if they go to Milwaukee to play the Brewers. I went to earlier I said March of last year, and one of those things that I had in March of last year was a baseball game to Milwaukee to go see the Yankees. So we have another busy weekend coming up, and that has kind of forced me to rearrange my schedule a little bit, which is kind of I guess the point of today's vlog. Normally I would do check-ins Monday through Friday, but because we're going to the music festival on Friday, I moved all of my Friday check-ins into Thursday. So I was originally going to be working a double shift on Thursday, doing the Thursday check-ins and the Friday check-ins. But Thursday night is the night that our friends are actually coming in to town and staying with us Thursday night. And Thursday is also a training day for me, and there would be no way that I could do a double check-in shift and get my training session in on Thursday before our friends came into town. So what I did then is I moved my Thursday clients to Wednesday. So Wednesday is the day that I'm working a double shift. I'm doing all of my Wednesday clients and I'm doing all of my Thursday clients. And then tomorrow on Thursday, I will do all of my Friday clients so that I can just take Friday off and be able to enjoy the, not having to work basically for the festival and the baseball game and everything. So it just so happens that Wednesday happens to be my birthday. So I'll be doing a ton of work today. And I think some people would maybe think that it would suck to have to do a lot of work on your birthday, but I'm grateful. I can't really think of anything else that I would rather do, as cliche as that sounds. As much work and as much effort and everything that I put into building the coaching business, it is, in my eyes, it's a good problem to have a lot of work to do to take care of that, and especially on my birthday. So we just took the dog out for a walk, came in, drinking some coffee, and we're gonna get started on these check-ins today. I honestly have no idea what today will entail. Today may be a very boring day. You may just see a lot of footage of me sitting at the desk and working on the computer, but if that's what happens, then that's an accurate representation of how today went. So follow along, and if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel by now, then make sure that you do so that you guys can keep up with all the other videos that I make that are like this. Yo, Jackson, what's going on, man? Well, I feel good about where we're at. Your upper body, serratus and abs and everything are already in a really good spot. I'd definitely rather you go too far intensity-wise than not go far enough. It's very easy on a movement like this. Let's say that this is the floor and this is the bar. It's very easy to bounce the weight off the ground and then use that momentum to get the next rep started. All right, finished up my first block of check-ins. I took a couple phone calls, birthday phone calls, which kind of made the check-ins take a little bit longer, but that's okay today. Obviously, want to make time for the people who are making time for me. Sitting down, having my first meal, just a liquid meal. This isn't a full day of eating. I'm not going to show all my meals and stuff, but liquid meal, whey protein, milk, Rice Krispies cereal, a mixed berry medley, so blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries. There are 4 fruits in that, and then some spinach in there. Maybe you can kind of see the little green chunks, and then some honey. I'm just gonna get this in and take a second to relax before we start the second work block. Side note, I'm going to be starting a cut next week. Once our friends leave and once we kind of get the weekend festivities and everything over with, then we're going to get a cut started next week and kind of clean up a little bit of body fat. I had kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video that we went to Tennessee and I lost about 6 or 7 pounds while I was in Tennessee, just really not eating a whole lot, and lost a bunch of weight. And this week is basically going to be about me trying to get some of that weight back on, so that I can start the cut nice and full, muscles like nice and full with glycogen, and make that go nice and smooth. Doing a little walk after the meal before we start the next check-in block. I hate Wednesdays. I don't think you got, oh yeah, you can kind of see it over there. I hate Wednesdays. Wednesdays are the days where the maintenance crew, or I guess the landscaping crew, kind of come to the apartment and they do all the lawn mowing and everything, and they literally mow right outside my window, and it just makes filming the check-in videos and everything a little bit more annoying than usual. But it's Wednesday, and it happens every Wednesday, and every Wednesday I forget, and then I hear that lawnmower crank on and I just think, fuck. I remembered while I was on the treadmill that I have some steak that I need to prep for the week. So we got to go to the kitchen and get that done before we start the next check-in block. Beef is in the pressure cooker. While I was in the kitchen, I picked up caffeine source number 2 for the day. Let me put you guys on to the Aldi version of Red Bull. This is Red Thunder. These are better in every way than regular Red Bull. Normal Red Bulls are 8 ounces and they're like 80 milligrams of caffeine, and these are 12 ounces and they are 115 milligrams of caffeine. And normal Red Bulls are almost like $2.50 a can, and you can get a 4-pack of these for like $3.50, which is like 75-80 cents a can. So they're have more caffeine in them, more drink, 12 ounces compared to 8, and they're considerably cheaper. They're like half the price of normal Red Bulls. So if you're a Red Bull fan, give the Aldi version a try. All right, I've kind of had a lot of things pop up that's kind of prevented me to getting this second check-in block done. So I need to put my headphones on, get back into my own little world and start to crank these check-ins out. Okay, check-in block number 2 is done. Pretty productive block there. I checked in with a couple of my European clients. Actually, coincidentally, both of them I had a lot to talk about or talk to about, a lot of things to cover, basically. I checked in with my client Shanad, who I haven't really formally checked in with in a couple weeks because he was actually traveling in Asia for a couple weeks, and then the week that he got back was the week that I went to Tennessee. So we've just kind of been touching base, but we haven't really had a formal check-in in probably 3 to 4 weeks. And then my client Ian, we had some blood work and stuff to go over and training changes, and we just had kind of a pretty extensive time to kind of talk about things, and a couple things that we needed to go over today. Actually, my other client that I checked in with was also international, Canada, which is technically international to me, but we just kind of started the final push of his cutting phase. Looking forward to getting this cut wrapped up, and then getting the food and cycle increased and get growing again as we get into the off season. So I'm gonna take a little bit of a work break. I can kind of feel that I'm getting burnt out from sitting at this desk and doing check-ins. So I'm gonna make something to eat, and then we'll get back to the last check-in block. This next one here, I'll have everything done by the time that this one is finished. Back on the treadmill after the second meal. On a normal day, that would be the meal that I would have first, but because I had so much work to do today, I wanted to have a liquid meal first thing this morning, just so that I didn't have to actually get up out of the desk and cook anything, and that doesn't delay me as I'm drinking that while I'm eating either. So I just kind of switched those meals around today. I did do a little bit of work while I was eating. I didn't film that. Normally I try to avoid doing that, and I kind of like to use my meals as a little bit of a work break. But again, I've got a ton of work that I've got to do today, so I'm just kind of trying to be super efficient with everything. It is my birthday after all, and I would kind of like to free up a couple of hours this afternoon to maybe do something fun, even if that's just playing video games or whatever, but just kind of trying to get everything done as early as possible. Once I get off this walk with the treadmill, I'll be starting the final check-in block of the day, and I'll definitely be getting all the check-ins done by the end of that. I will not get up out of the desk until I do. Okay, third and final check-in block done. That actually took me a little bit longer than what I had expected, but we kind of started the day off knowing there'd be a ton of work to do today, so no sense really complaining about it. But as of this point, I'm done with all my check-ins for the day. Still got a couple things to do yet here. I'm gonna write out my to-do list for tomorrow. I'm a super, not to brag, but I'm a super organized person, and I like to write out to-do lists the day before, and then I'm gonna fill out my logbook for tomorrow's training session. The beef, I gotta drain the beef and put that in the fridge. The beef has probably been done cooking for a couple hours now, but I like to let the beef sit in the juice that we cook it in, that comes out of it. I don't know, I just put it in water in the slow cooker, but I like to let it sit in there with these really, really lean cuts of beef, they can get really tough, like in your teeth, and really dry. So I've just kind of found that the longer cooking them on lower temperatures for longer periods of time kind of helps keep them a little bit more moist and tender and soft. I did use a pressure cooker here. What I used to do is I had an actual slow cooker, and I would put the meat in before I went to bed at night, and then I'd wake up in the morning. It had been slow cooking for 8 hours or so, and then I usually let it sit for another couple hours before I took it out, and that made it that was really good. And I do have a slow cooking mode on the Instapot. But I don't know, I just kind of always have pressure cooked it and then just let it sit there for a little bit. It kind of accomplishes the same thing in a slightly shorter period of time. And then I need to prep my meals for tomorrow. And then after that, I think that's pretty much it for like the work and type of stuff. I do have some content and everything that I want to edit. I don't know if I'll get to that today. I kind of want to maybe order some food, and then I don't know, maybe do something fun. I don't know what, but if I ever figure out what it is that we're gonna do, I need to call my parents later, do like a video call with my parents. But if I ever figure out something fun that we may do later, then I'll bring you guys along with me. All right, I haven't caught up with you guys in a minute, but that's just because we've been kind of catching up on some stuff. I wrote out my to-do list for tomorrow, training session for tomorrow, packed my meals, and then we decided to go out to eat. We went to Bona Beef, which is a Chicago land Italian beef place, usually for the Chicago land and Chicago area people out there that happen to be watching this. Usually when people kind of think of Chicago, they think of Portillo's, and Portillo's is pretty good, but in my opinion, Bona is better. We actually have a Bona so close to the house we could walk there. So I am a slut for a Caesar salad, and their Caesar salad is my favorite one. I actually keep a ranking in my phone. Every time I have a Caesar salad at a different place, I rank it, and I keep that list in my phone. I really am a sucker for Caesar salads. I love them. One of my favorite things to eat ever. So had one of those and an Italian beef sandwich. Just simply, this is something that I've done a lot this off season. Is had that exact meal, and then the macros for that meal, you can find the macros for Bona on their website. The macros for that meal are basically the exact same macros as what my chicken and rice meal and my beef and rice meal are combined. So usually when I go, well, not usually, every time I go out to Bona and I have that meal in place of 2 meals. So this morning I had the shake, I had eggs, and then instead of having chicken and rice and beef and rice, I combined both of those meals into the meal that we just had out. And then before I go to bed, I'll have my last meal as normal. So on a normal day, I have 5 meals. On a day like today, I combined 2 of them into 1. So went out, had some good food, fit that in the macros and everything, and came home, took the dog out for a walk, and then I was just on a video call with my parents, and obviously I'm not going to film that. So at this point, it's about 9 o'clock. I'm going to take a shower, maybe play some video games, watch some TV or something, just kind of wind down for the night, and then have the last meal and go to bed. Not a particularly exciting day, but it is the way that today went nevertheless. So I got a lot of work done today, and that was really the main thing. that I needed to get done, and it just so happened that a busy work day fell on my birthday. But it is what it is, and there isn't really much else that I'd rather be doing. So I'm gonna take a shower, relax, have the last meal, and then go to bed. We've got a training session tomorrow, getting back in the gym. Looking forward to that. I'll probably just wrap this one up here. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch the videos as always. If you haven't subscribed to the channel by now, you should do that so that you can kind of keep up with the rest of the videos. If you're interested in coaching or any of my services, I've got that information in the description below. Thanks for watching as always, guys. Take care of yourselves and train hard.